No, but you know what story I'm going to tell you? So what story I remember is that the Knobs opened up for Green Day at the Veterans Memorial Center. And this was, I think, even before Green Day was called Green Day. It was the same three guys, Billy Joe and whoever the other two dudes are. But I think they were called Sweet Children at the time. And I think
Okay.
and they only played as Sweet Children for maybe 2 months or something.
Interesting.
They were just starting out. And so
What year was that?
that must have been like 88 or
88.
89,
Okay.
yeah. And we got to open up for them, and we were a little pissed off. We were like, we're the local band. Who the fuck are these guys from Berkeley? And we have to open up for these chumps. Oh my god.
Were they already kind of big in the Gilman Street?
I mean, they were sort of big, but they were playing the Davis Veterans Memorial Center.
Right.
You know, so they were not. No, so I don't think they were playing Gilman
Oh, okay.
at that point. They were not that big.
Oh, okay.
But they just put out their first 7-inch, which I have, which is amazing. That I bought that night. And I know like Josh Lawson. Do you remember him?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think he's still in town.
Mm-hmm.
And he was at the show, but there were only like 20 people at the show, and the Knobs opened up for him. And then Green Day came on, and everybody was kind of like, "Who the fuck are these guys?" And from the very first chord, you're like, "Oh fuck, these guys are good." Billy Joe, he had long hair then, and he was a little dude, but he was just, even with 20 people, they didn't care. They just wanted to play, and as soon that first chord, you're like, "Okay, they're gonna be something important. These guys are like really, really good. Like we're the Knobs." These guys are like the real deal. And so I bought the first 7-inch. I got to find it. It's in my parents' house somewhere because I'm sure it's really valuable now.
Probably is.
But yeah, so that was cool. That was like, yeah, some of those Bay Area bands would sneak into Davis and play weird places like that.
We never knew what type of groups we were going to play with. There were specific bands that we played with out of the Berkeley area that obviously did go on to have really good things happen for them, you know, and that's, you can't deny the fact that they had somebody that they resonated with. I mean, we're talking millions of records sold, you know. That wasn't to be for us, obviously.
I'm trying to think of other Davis bands. I mean, we mostly played with East Bay bands, or we saw East Bay shows.
What were the bands of that time that you liked?
Uh,
Or local, or just Berkeley or Sacramento, Bay Area?
Right. So like Crimp Shrine was a big deal. Sewer Trout. I love Sewer Trout. Sweet Children and Green Day when we saw them a lot.
I remember, speaking of the Vets Hall, Green Day, I remember I was at a show and they came up and they're like, "Hi, we used to be called Sweet Children, now we're Green Day," and they shined this big green light and they played. And I can tell you right now, this is like, I don't know, 1990, 89, 90, around that time. And, they were playing to like 10 people and they played their asses off, right? And then, go a year later, I put them on a few times and like, there'd be like, shows back then were like $2, $3, maybe $5. So, most the headliners getting like $200-300. And I remember like one time I was like, "Well, here's your cut," and they were like, "Nah, you know what? We just drove from Berkeley. Those guys drove from Fresno. Give them a little more." And it's like people say they sold out. It's like, dude, they played girl pop from the very beginning. Their first 7-inch was all girl songs. You know what I mean? They always had that. But as far as like living the punk lifestyle, doing their own thing, living out of the van, touring on their own, they did all that. So.
Right.
I would actually, I would defend them to anybody that says they sold, because it's not like by definition, selling it out is like you're changing to appeal to the masses. What happened with actually not just skateboarding, but tattoos and punk rock, all this stuff, what happened was all of a sudden it became popular. Green Day was punk back in 1990. You know what I mean? Now we consider like girly lollipop, whatever the hell it is, but that's what they always played. You know what I mean? So you're not selling out. It's kind of like same thing with tattoos. Like, we used to get these to be different, and now they're mainstream.
Yeah,
does that mean I'm sold out because I'm doing them?
Sure, right.
You know what I mean? So,
right.
Nah, dude, I'll back Green Day forever. I mean, I haven't seen those guys in like 20-something years, but I'm just saying though, like,